Hello, Scott from Wessex Blades. Thanks for joining me again. What I fancy covering today is a derivative of fat wood. Now, I always thought that having fat wood is a pretty cool idea, in that it's pretty compact. You can put it in any sort of little pack, you can put it in a Ziploc bag, you can put it in a tin, and it's there ready and waiting when you want to use it. You can even make ferro rods by using the fat wood as a handle, and you just shave off as you go in. But there's another thing on the market. It's called Maya dust, which it's shaved down fat wood. It's really strange, and obviously people will be buying tins of Maya dust, which is basically drilled or shredded down fat wood. And I've always had a real confusion and I've always been really confused by this product, Maya dust. Like, have you got time to shave down your fat wood as you're doing your fire? You only want a sliver of it. So I thought, well, there must be a way of making it yourself. Basically it's wood with some form of fuel already in it. So what I did was after I did some planing the other day with some beech, I had all the planing shavings left over and set fire to that with a little bit of oil, and it seemed to work quite well. So what I thought I'd do is do a comparison between, as equivalent as I can, okay, differences between fat wood and Maya dust that I make, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some pine, because I want to use the same wood throughout. There's no point using a bit of oak, a bit of beech. You want to have one variable, and the variable is going to be tests of pine if I've used planer shavings, tests of pines if I've used drill shavings. I'm considering using a Forstner bit, and it's the fuel that we change. So whether we use an oil of some description or a fire starter, and so, you know, the cost of what that ice hockey puck tin of Maya dust is. How easy is it to make? For someone practical like me, I just reverse engineer it. Most people look at that and think that's just drill shavings and a bit of pine resin, but you don't necessarily need to use pine resin. They're difficult to source pine resin. I'm still confused. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little piece of this off, and I'm going to plane it down so it's clean on all sides. As I plane it, I'll catch the shavings, so I've got a decent volume of shavings, and then I'll drill out the actual board on the drill. So I've got I suppose a collection of what we call spill, okay, and then I'm going to use a variety of different fuels and see how it compares to shredded down Maya dust, which is fat wood. Use a knife. So anyway, let's see how it gets on, and see how simple this is for anybody to do themselves with maybe a drill, maybe a knife. See you in a bit. Right, so there we've got a reasonable volume of pine shavings. You know, it didn't really take me that long in terms of time and effort. But anyway, what we'll do now is I'll explain to you the reason I cut it the way I cut it. by putting it through the planer this way, you're always going to get the chance of it smashing the end of the wood out. So I was putting it through like this in order to try and you know, make it last as long as possible until eventually it went. But what that's given me, because I work with the grain, is none of the fibres look like normal shavings. They actually look like little needles. So I've given myself a sort of really fluffy appearance of those pine fibres. And now what I'll do is, man! Okay, I'm going to go to the drill and just give myself some what look to be Maya Dusty sort of things, I guess. I don't know. Never bought it. But what I've seen people do their reviews on. Awesome Maya Dust. So up we go. You lot put on it. I don't know. Must be Christmas. Let's get that there. See that alright? Must be about right. Okay, so that's an 8mm. That seems about right. Put that sort of down there. Due to its natural composition of wood shavings, they are biodegradable, dust-free and highly absorbent. Wow, this natural composition is amazing. It's actually, it's got natural wood fibres. How did they manage to get that there? Oh, okay. Right, so I've got my drill spill, which is pretty similar to the old hamster bedding, against the fine planer spill. So what I'll do first of all is just see if there's any difference between the shavings as a fibre or the drill spill, which is basically the same as hamster bedding. There. Do that. I expect that's about as much. If you can imagine, the shavings are a lot finer, so I want the same amount of weight. When you start thinking about wood as fuel, we need to consider, like, oak is, I think they measure it in chains or something to do with the length and how much energy is in it. Right, so as close as I can to doing a timing of thing. Okay, that's the wood shavings, drill spill. And it looks like the planer shavings go up a lot easier. Well, they're thinner. So there's an option, as opposed to what that is. So that's what I thought would be an advantage of using planer spill cross grain as opposed to along the grain. Now, let's give it a real good go with the shavings. Not as eager to go. Yeah, so on their own, let's put that out again. planer shavings. Pretty big difference. So we'll carry on with easy to source in a natural environment. If you want to go on a bit of a, what do you call, forage, most resources you can find, you get these, instead of trees, you get these big sort of concrete block things. The clue is it's a safe way to get all of this. Okay, so I'm sure that you'll have good luck if you're out foraging finding this. Apparently it's got natural composition, and somehow it's filtered to get rid of any nasty bits. Awesome. Right, so what I'm going to do is get some normal fat wood. This was responsibly sourced from, I think it was Australia. Yeah, flew all over here. Now he lives here. Just brought some over, mate, you know. So down into the little can, which I imagine that's pretty central. And what I'm going to do is just cut it. So this is the shaved fat wood, and this is wood shavings with just a dash. I imagine that's the equivalent of mine. I mean, it's all a bit rough and ready here. So fat wood, nearly. That's up and ready. Not quite enough to get going. Nope. There it goes. Yeah, so not the easiest thing to light in the world. Needs a little bit of attention. But yes, homemade Maya dust. I wonder how long that'll last. So, $34 and $34. Okay, so that's 1 minute later. I gathered up a bit more of fat wood so it would use all of its supply up. And obviously it's not as easy to light, but that's still burning. And the actual linseed oil is burning at the moment, so it's more of a wicking effect. Quite how much the shavings will go, I don't know yet. That's been going for a couple of minutes. To be honest, how long it takes to go out. Bloody linseed. That's 38 now, so that's like 4 minutes. Oh, well, that's quite enough of that. So, it's a good 5 minutes. That's now cool. So, next thing, shavings. That's holdable enough. Shavings, bit more, make it even. Okay, and we're going to go full on Al Gore. Touch of that. So, a little bit of that, and stand well back. About the same amount of volume. So I shall do that one first because I don't want a handful of fire dragon. So, engine oil, fire dragon. Okay. That is lit. Okay. 43. So I'll come back when it's gone a lot further. It's just odd how the fire starter has got such a no character to the flame whatsoever. And the engine oil gets on with it. Well, the polar bears aren't going to be too happy, but I'm liking this one. And the fire dragon just gets going. So, 45. Well, it's like November the 5th here at the moment. It's still going. Maybe it's old fire dragon, I don't know, but does the actual solvent get lost from the bowl? Anyway, this is obviously a damn sight more eco-friendly than gore oil, but we're prepping, guys. $48. I've had enough now, that's just going on forever. Come on, work. Fire dragon's gone out. Kuwait's finest still running. So, I think the answer is, if you don't mind spending some time cutting up your own fat wood, hang on a minute, put the fire out. That got a lot hotter than the fire dragon one. Anyway, so I think the answer to the solution of the problem of the thing, if you're going to buy a tin of Maya dust, there's a cheaper solution. Much cheaper solution. That's my wood shavings in a wet can. I could market that. Wessex dust. All good bushcraft outlets. How much you could pack into a tin?
Dum,
Hello,
dum,
Golden Wessex Junior.
dum, dum, do 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 do.
It's a backy tin as well. How about that? Ah.